Imagine a scenario where the NBA team with the most offensive firepower, right, adds even more offensive firepower. Well, that's basically what the Brooklyn Nets just did by landing NCAA freshman leading scorer and absolute bucket getter in Cam Thomas. Mind you, this wasn't done by throwing a bag in free agency or through some complex trade. Nah, they landed this man simply because 26 teams could not recognize the scoring talent staring them right in the face. And as a result, man, the super team that most NBA fans disliked last season, including myself, was able to land a steal. Matter of fact, possibly the most underrated steal, because I haven't seen many articles or heard much noise about Cam Thomas and how big of a deal it is that he fell to the Nets at the 27th pick. So I'm going to take it upon myself and speak on it today. Cause whether you like the Brooklyn Nets or not, I understand if you don't, but they really used their draft pick in the absolute best way possible. So yeah, but real quick before I go any further, what's up YouTube? Plug Speaks back with a vid. If you're new, first of all, welcome. Go ahead and sub. Also like the vid if you enjoy. I upload 3 to 4 times a week and we're on the road to 5K, so I'd for sure appreciate it. But back to the vid though. So I'm going to start this off by bringing up some players Cam Thomas has actually compared himself to. Because, you know, usually NBA prospects treat comparisons as if it's a bad thing and choose to focus on themselves, which makes sense, but it's pretty cool to see players actually admit who they watch and just the styles of play that they try to model their game after. And I must say, the group of guys Cam Thomas has brought up should have a bunch of teams feeling dumb for skipping him, because he's compared himself to Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and James Harden. It's pretty obvious what they all have in common: an extremely elite level of scoring. Listen, Cam averaged 30 points a game as a high school senior at Oak Hill Academy, and then 23 points a game at LSU. And this is just what he does. Now, I'm not trying to say the Brooklyn Nets just got a free Devin Booker or anything crazy like that, but after I go over his pros and cons and how he actually fills up some of the Nets' needs, it's gonna be obvious why he should have gone way before the 27th pick. So yeah, Cam Thomas is fresh off a great year at LSU where he averaged 23 points and 3 rebounds on 40% from the field and 32% from 3. Pretty good. But his first 9 games before he suffered an ankle injury was easily his best stretch of the year, because in those games he averaged 25 points on 43% from the field and 32% from 3. So basically even more points on slightly better overall efficiency, and he gets his points in all kinds of ways, whether it be a layup, the mid-range from 3, or even from finesse and free throws. He's just a guy that knows how to score. Honestly, it's pretty much the only thing he does at an elite level. Everything else is such as passing, defense, it's all mostly subpar, honestly just very average. However, this doesn't worry me. Honestly, I would worry about his ability to score at an acceptable NBA efficiency way before I worry about how limited his game appears to be. And I say this for one reason. Playing behind great players usually makes you a better player, right? And when it comes to the Brooklyn Nets, Cam Thomas isn't about to be playing behind just any type of all-stars, y'all. He'll be playing behind the top 5 shooting guard of all time in James Harden, arguably the best dribbler to ever pick up a basketball in Kyrie Irving, and then arguably the best scorer to ever exist in Kevin Durant. Maybe it's just me, but I believe chances are he becomes sort of like a sponge as far as improving his knowledge of the game and just knowing what he needs to be effective on a winning team. Because obviously the Brooklyn Nets are in win right now mode. If healthy, then I'm sure we all expect them to make yet another, or at least a more successful and deep run in the 2022 playoffs. And if given the opportunity, we might just see another case where a rookie exceeds their expectations and performs well on the big stage, the same way Tyler Herro sort of dominated the Celtics in the conference finals during the NBA bubble. Bro was really set to take off before getting an IG model pregnant. Pray for bro. But back to Cam. Now understand, I'm not really saying that this will surely happen, but I just want to acknowledge the fact that it's definitely a real possibility. But anyway, moving on to this man's actual fit as far as personnel on the Brooklyn Nets. Alright, so it's no secret that one of the few weaknesses of the Nets super team is their lack of depth. More often than not, it's just the price you gotta pay for being so overpowered with star talent. I mean, you got 2 MVPs, an MVP caliber player. I mean, what do you really expect? So basically, Cam is set to play a very needed role on the Nets in terms of off the bench buckets. And man, they need it way more than y'all may think. Because at the time of this recording, there's many reports that assume Spencer Dinwiddie will not be playing for Brooklyn next year. And then Jeff Green has already left, he dipped, and signed a 2-year $10 million deal with the Denver Nuggets. Now while my Nets fans, none of those two things are good to hear. Don't even lie, many expected Spencer to come back and fill a needed role as a bench scorer after recovering from his, unfortunate ACL injury. And then Jeff Green is gone, and all it took was a $10 million deal over 2 years. Are we gonna act like the Nets front office couldn't give this man $10 million over 2 years, knowing that given the necessary role he plays for the Nets, knowing you're already lacking bench depth, just $10 million over 2 years? Again, not a good thing. Now in saying that, I won't pretend free agency is over. It's actually far from over. We're only past the first day. And it's very possible that the Nets land some new veterans. It's definitely possible. But at the moment, the depth of this team just isn't looking good. And that's exactly where Cam Thomas comes in. I believe Cam's pure scoring will be very necessary in his rookie year. It's just that his actual level of contribution will ultimately come down to his efficiency. But hey, given the fact that at least one player from the Big Three usually plays a few minutes with the bench, Cam should get good looks and should be able to knock him down. But anyway, I'm fixing to wrap this up, but real quick before I do, I just want to highlight some quotes from Cam himself. Because it's usually better when your draft pick is truly excited to be there, instead of complaining after a few seasons like say Bagley on the Kings. Free Bagley though. But yeah, I'll put these on the screen. And just looking at the great things Cam has already said about the organization and the chance to play with KD and the crew, I'm sure that whatever he does on the court will be his best effort. And at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for from a rookie. But yeah man, that's about it for the vid. Y'all let me know what you think of this pick by the Nets. Do you agree that he's a steal, or why or why not? Where would you have picked them in the draft if not the Nets? And yeah man, I appreciate y'all watching as always. Like this up, share it, sub if new, all of that, and I'm out.